each one. We thank you, Lord, for all our dignitaries this morning here with us, especially our chief guest, Dr. Sivan, and all the other dignitaries. We ask you to bless each one. We thank you for all the members of the Board of Management and their families. We thank you for all our students and their families. Once again, Lord, we come these 4 days into your hands. We pray that this will be a time of enrichment, of joy, of happiness. And we thank you for all your enlightenment and all these things. Once again, we come to the rest of this program in your name. We pray that you bless everything that we do in your will. In Jesus' name.
Our chief guest for today is Dr. K. Sivan. Dr. Kailasa Sivan, currently Vikram Sarabhai Distinguished Professor and former Secretary, Department of Space, and former Chairman, Space Commission, also known as Rocket Man of India, is a renowned scientist known for his contribution in development and operationalization of ISRO's launch vehicle fleet to make India self-reliant in assured access to space.
Born on 14th April 1957 in a farmer family in Sarkarville village of Kanyakumari district, he completed his primary education in Tamil Medium School. After completing BSc Mathematics from Madras University, he joined Madras Institute of Technology to pursue B.Tech Aeronautics. Thereafter, he completed his ME in Aerospace Engineering from Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore, and PhD in Aerospace Engineering from Indian Institute of Technology, Mumbai. Dr. Sivan is happily married to Malati Sivan and are blessed with 2 sons, Sushant and Siddharth.
Dr. Sivan joined the Vikram Sarabhai Space Center on 29th October 1982 and since then has played a key role in the design and development of ISRO's launch vehicles. Following his many lists of achievements, Dr. K. Sivan has also co-authored a book titled Integrated Design for Space Transportation System, published by Springer. The book was given the IAA 2019 Engineering Science Book Award. This book has been very well received both by students as well as practicing professionals. We welcome you, sir.
Thank you, Hari and Kartika. Now it is time of honoring the presence of our chief guest. I request our principal and our chairman, Mr. Norman Wood. On behalf of the Nagle family, I request Sarvika to present a bouquet to our chief guest. On behalf of all the Old Georgians, I invite the President of the Old Georgian Association, Mr. Ashokan, and the Chairman of the Centenary Year Celebration, Mr. N.R. Krishnamurthy Raju, to honor our chief guest with the bouquet.
the inauguration of the reunion. We will begin with the unveiling of the plaque. I invite our chief guest, Dr. K. Sivan, to unveil the plaque and to declare the reunion open.
I declare the reunion to Gopal. All over the world, we have a set of balloons which you will have to release, and our chief guest and chairman will release the pigeon. So Mr. Tamil also, please, all the judges need to hold one balloon each, which will be released up in the air. Are the judges ready to release the balloon? Once again, on the count of three, we'll release the balloons. One, children repeat, one, two, three. Thank you all of applause, children.
Be seated. I request all our dignitaries on the dais to please take their seats.
A very good morning to everyone present here for this centenary celebration. Our Honorable Chief Guest, Mr. K. Shivan, former Chairman, Space Commission. We also have a senior scientist among us, Mr. Shiv Subramaniam. Our collector was supposed to come, but due to some unavoidable circumstances was not able to come. So I welcome our Deputy Collector, Ma'am Deepana, President of the Old Georgian Association, Mr. Ashokan, our Chairman of the Board of Management, Mr. Norman Wood, and Mrs. Norman Wood, all the Old Georgians who have come from far and near, I welcome you all to this opening ceremony of the centenary year of Laidlaw School at Ketti. It is an exceptional honor and pleasure to welcome each one of you this morning for this truly historic event, the centenary celebration of Laidlaw Memorial School and Junior College. For 100 years, moved by the convention of the founder father, people from all walks of life came to build this famous institution. It had a humble beginning in the year 1914 in Kodaikanal, and then shifted to Ketti in the year 1922. What has been described as a wild yet compassionate dream of Sir Robert Laidlaw, the school started out as an orphanage, catering for the needs of the less fortunate, and yet today we stand as one of the best leading schools of India, a dream come true. Every beginning is never smooth. There are bridges and hurdles to cross and goals to reach. And now that every successive principal and staff had to work in unison with the emerging and changing society, parents and teachers have encouraged students to learn as much they can up to the school's motto. And the school motto is? We can say it louder. The school motto is? That's it. I'm really proud to see so many of us living up to the motto and making the world a happier place to live in. Now, as then, lifelong friendships and memories have been fostered at Laidlaw. Let us remember and honor the hard work put in by the staff, the Board of Management, parents, and all the well-wishers who have contributed to the success of the school. I congratulate the school community for reaching every milestone through the years, striving to give our young people the best possible start in life. We still have miles to go, as rightly said by Sir Robert Frost. We now need to focus on the changing trends of education and the pedagogies that have best suits the needs of our students and this global scenario. I would like once again to welcome all the Georgians who have come. We have people from Australia, Canada, America, Europe, I think. You name a country in the world and you have Georgians present there. So welcome you all Georgians to Laidlaw Memorial School. Welcome back home. Laidlaw has always been a home away from home, and I'm sure the 4 days that we have planned for you to come back to school, the Georgians have put in a lot of effort. We have people who are striving towards making this reunion a great success. I would like to mention the efforts put in by the President, Mr. Ashokan, Mr. Enad, Mr. Tamilarsu, Arun, all the executive members. We had one member sitting all over, I think Thomas, who did a wonderful job on the social media and inviting people. So let's give the old Georgians a big, big round of applause. I would like to end on the note, and I would like to wish you all a very happy centenary year and a very happy and successful reunion. Thank you very much, and God bless you all.
Respected Dr. Ketti, former Chairman, Space Commission, Dr. Siva Subramanian, our Sub-Collector, Madam Deepana, and all dignitaries on and off the dais. On behalf of the Board of Management, Principal and staff and students, it gives me great pleasure to welcome all of you on this auspicious occasion in celebrating 100 years of our school in this beautiful Ketti Valley. In fact, I remember one of our chief guests many years ago called our school very appropriately the Lily of the Valley. A view from the road en route to Ooty brings to sight the steeple of a chapel. With the wind whistling through the trees, it seems like Wordsworth's poems have taken a walk into the Middle East. This picturesque view holds many hearts captive, and every year in the month of July, most of the old Georgians come back to this heaven to relive a very important period in their life, the time of going to school. Despite having to carry heavy bags and trudge along, since sometimes homework was forgotten, this was undoubtedly the best time in every student's life. I believe that this is not just a reunion, but it is like traveling through a wormhole to become a student once again. At the very outset, I would like to congratulate and thank every member of the OGA for their unstinted support over the years. They have stood by our school through thick and thin, and the great bonding of the members of this association has to be seen to be believed. They are one of the stakeholders of our school. Going down memory lane, Laidlaw was blessed with outstanding principals, starting from Reverend Beaton to Gary Everett. These gentlemen have been men who are not only efficient leaders in guiding the school to greater heights, but also persons of outstanding beliefs and values. They have ensured that there was no confusion as far as academics and discipline are concerned, while at the same time imparting all-round education by ensuring every student should take part in sport and games. Laidlaw has always had the tradition of encouraging cross-country running every morning to ensure every student keeps fit. Continuous improvement was the mantra of the Board of Management together with the principal and staff that was used to ensure the school remains vibrant. Over the last decade, the Board of Management has ensured that all our cottages were upgraded to meet the expectations of the profile of today's students. The dining hall that we use today is the result of the work of several diligent men, transforming it from what was used to be cooking in cottages to a common meal prepared by culinary experts. We have over the past decade started Rotary Interact clubs where students are exposed to leadership and communication skills. The need to respect and provide assistance to the old and the downtrodden is instilled in them through this venture. We have also started an Operation Smile Club where children raise funds for the cleft lip and palate surgeries for children. This initiative has made many children smile unabashed for the first time in their lives. To keep abreast of the best practices followed by elite schools in the country, we have planned to introduce ISO 9001, which will provide for world-class teaching skills and world-class experiences to the beneficiaries, thereby giving every individual student a chance to face the challenge efficiently. Apart from having a top-class badminton court and adding play fields and a wonderful basketball court donated by the OGA, we also plan to convert all our tennis courts to all-weather courts. This will ensure that the students are not curbed from playing the games of their choice during different seasons. Laidlaw has been a home away from home for several generations. Although it sounds like a cliché, it is the truth. Ocular proof of this is the number of established gentlemen and ladies who are seated here today. They were probably waiting with bated breath for the lockdown to be lifted. 100 years at Ketti, a century of quality education without compromise, this could be confidently called a milestone achievement. Through the rain, and we all know that is more than 6 months in the year at Ketti, listening to the strong chunking of gumboots and swishing of raincoats, let us all take a walk down memory lane and have a wonderful time. In conclusion, I would like to quote Paul Mayer, the American guru of management, on the power of visualization. He said that whatever one vividly imagines, ardently desires, sincerely believes, and enthusiastically acts upon must inevitably come to pass. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. God bless all.
It's a pleasure to have the principal, staff, and students of the Nawa Tribal School Kodigiri among us today. We have an exciting program. The students of the tribal school are here to perform their traditional dance for us. Let us put our hands together and welcome them on stage.
Now, our own classical dancers would like to perform for us.
Pali to everybody. This chilly day, I should thank our Chief Guest K7 to be here on this occasion for inaugurating our centenary celebration in Ketti, and it is a great pleasure, sir, for being with us today here. And also, our collector was not here. He has sent a sub-collector here. Thank you for coming here, madam. And our chairman and board members of the board who are here, and we thank them again for giving us this opportunity to be again in our campus. And principal and staff and these beloved students. It is our memories back in our old days when we were sitting in front of this podium, like you now sitting there. We are really, our ages are coming down to 14. So we are very happy that we have been able to be with you all. First and foremost, I am highly privileged to welcome Mr. K7, one of the greatest and the finest space scientists of our country, for having taken time to come here and, more importantly, to be with and inspire the future generation of India. We welcome you, sir, with warm and great pride. Dear Georgians and old Georgians, welcome you all for this inaugural day. It is indeed my pleasure to welcome you all to this day, this time, which is historically and significant to each one of us and to the district in particular. I know many of you have come from different parts of the world, having braved and weathered conditions just to enjoy the community and bring back memories of our wonderful days in Lido. It has been a culture and tradition rich and strong that the old Georgian Association cherished beyond on matter which has made us what we are today, self-reliant. I also should thank all the management for giving us this lovely opportunity to come and enjoy in this campus and relish our old memories every year, at particular this time of the year. So the old Georgian family and brotherhood is committed to make this school better, brighter and happy. Happening place for all who have come to this hotel. I should thank our teachers who taught us in those days, Bobman, Hamid, St. Joe's, Clay, which I know. We still remember those names and we still talk about the yarns what we used to spin when we were young in the cottages. So it was very happy to be here, and we should also think of the management at that time allowed us to come into cottage, Mr. Gandhar also, because he was the real one. And today we are able to stand and do this function every year is because of our N.R. Krishnamurthy, our founder president, and also our Tamilarasu from Thuthukudi. He's the past president and he's the treasurer at that time, the founder treasurer. And till today, he has a passion to be with the present students and enjoy his life, and makes us also enjoy this life. And all the past presidents who are here also, I welcome you all. And I thank once again to the management for giving us this great opportunity. And we are with you, sir, till the end. We with you, the management. Thank you for being with us. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We are celebrating 100 years of academic excellence here at Ketti. I am sure you will want to know more about the journey of Laidlaw through these 100 years. We now have a presentation which will take us to the past and into the present. Here we go.
The human that was responsible for so many humans that have established themselves over these years, Sir Robert Laidlaw. And thanks, Thomas Abraham, for having found the great grandnephew of Sir Robert Laidlaw to have introduced him to the school.
To everyone at the Laidlaw Memorial School, and congratulations on this centenary celebration of your wonderful school. My name is Ben Haslam. I'm a great-great-grand-nephew of Sir Robert Laidlaw, and I'd like to thank you very much for inviting me to speak to you on this auspicious occasion. It really is a great honour. At this point, I must mention my late grandmother, because without her, I wouldn't be speaking to you at all. Her name was Joyce Comper, and it was she who first discovered our family's link to the Laidlaw through Sir Robert's elder brother, William. Of all our descendants, my grandmother certainly found the Laidlaws to be the most captivating, and I know that she would be as proud and delighted as I am to see your school, bearing the Laidlaw name, thriving in the 21st century. To say that Sir Robert Laidlaw loved India is an understatement. To quote from a friend of his, India had a wonderful grip of Sir Robert's heart, and in that land of beauty and of mystery his best years were spent, and to his highest welfare he devoted not only his purse, but his energy and time. The same friend describes Sir Robert as modest and simple-hearted, despite all his parliamentary and social honours, a humble yet strong man of God, a man whose word was his bond, and whose personality was an inspiration towards all that is best in mortal existence. His strength of character is certainly an inspiration to me, and something I'm sure we can all aspire to. Sir Robert Laidlaw believed that the aim of schools was not simply to help children attain adulthood, but also to generate citizens with such a quality of self-reliance as to be a credit to their country, and even considered national assets. For over 100 years, the Laidlaw Memorial School has embodied this great vision, and I have no doubt that it will continue to do so for the next 100 years. Your well-deserved success is something that Sir Robert Laidlaw will be extremely proud to witness. Once again, I'd like to thank you very much for including me in your festive celebration, and in particular, I'd like to thank Mr. Thomas Abraham, who has given great time and effort to the alumni over the last 22 years. It's been a great honour and a pleasure to speak to you, and I wish you all a wonderful celebration.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you so much for honoring all you. We displayed here will speak volumes because it is 100 years history. The first paperwork was done, the foundation was laid in 1914, but the valley flourished since 1922. The valley, the school, then and now. This was after the first school, 1940, sorry. They moved into a new building in 1921 in Kodaikanal. You may be able to identify Mr. Hammack standing in the field. The school block, which we all identify ourselves, which is called as the old block and identity of the school, the Laidlaw Memorial School. This is our first bungalow, this is a estate bungalow. Many of them would have seen the evolution over times. Those were the days when motorization wasn't anything. So this is how people used to be transported from top to the school. The events, the entertainment, the programs were all aligned with nature those days. You may be able to identify Cubs Den and Dobie Garden. This is a swimming pool, warm, cold, winter, didn't matter for a self-reliant Georgian. They enjoyed every time of it in the pool. These are the times that workshops had their hands-on carpentry, which made benches which you may find some of them still in the dining hall today. These are the support staff, people, officials with people. Can you see the hockey? Those days, the goalkeeper, look at his pad, and look at the curvature of the hockey stick. Nowadays, it's much more bent, indicating technology. On the right side is a photo where the soccer team with well-equipped systems. This is 1947. This is a school choir of those days. This is my school. I always will feel proud ever and ever to call this monument as my proud one. This is a visit by Lady Wellington in September 1923. These are girls' cottages, the president, and after 100 years, with the effort of the OGs, without changing the architecture, the Lancashire cottage was also built. You can see it on the right side in the current photograph. The Lewis cottage, which brings a lot of nostalgia to a lot of people, irrespective of age, times, then and now. The principal, the headmaster, staff in 1950. The radio club, just imagine technology. And in 1964, the school management had taken effort to bring in technology to this valley, the radio club. The high school class of 1968 and 72, not much have changed. Attires are the same, but we cherish those memories ever. The staff and students in 1976. This is the ICSE, in 1978, the Lelo Memorial School, which transformed itself into Lelo Memorial School and Junior College in 80s. The Lelo family on the left, imagine the photograph taken those days, and look at on the right, the technology still has been appropriately utilized by the Georgian. The inter-school sports and the flag salute for the chief guest is a tradition that we still live on. The dining hall, the roof that we are right now sitting, thanks to the OGs for having contributed to, brave, overcome the rains. This dome was a contribution to the OGs. The dining hall inside now. The same auditorium, look at the capacity and seating capacity of, thanks to OG again. The new building, it had transformed itself, the walkway. Some of the walkways were actually built by the students. They contributed by their effort elsewhere. The garden and the pathway. The walkway in different dimension, and we have wild visitors. We've learned to live in harmony with them. The walkway in another angle, that's a science block on the right. The chapel, where we have sung a lot of hymns, and once we enter in, the grace and mercy is always there in the building. The administration block of those days to the left and now on the right. This world-class shuttle court with huge number of capacity. State of the art, and we call it the same sports center. The school flag, where every day begins and every day ends, is on the school flag. Thank you.
Thank you, teachers, and Mr. Arun K. Arungam. Now it is time to sit back and listen to the brainstorming session of Dr. K. Sivan.
I request the chief guest of the day, Mr. K. Sivan, to address the gathering.
Most respected Sri Ashokan, President, Old Georgian Association, Ketti, Chairman Norman J. Wood, Madam, and Board of Management, the Laidlaw Memorial School and Junior College, Ketti, and Principal, Headmaster, teaching and non-teaching staff, as well as my senior and colleague, Dr. Sivasubramaniam, and senior dignitaries and most respected alumni of this school, as well as my dear young friends. So, good afternoon to all of you. Just income, good afternoon to all of you. And the sub-collector also is there. And just saying good afternoon to all of you. When I visited this, I entered to the college, the school in the morning. Three things really came to my mind. One, the first one, everywhere we have seen that the school is for the self-reliant. This is a very, very important vision, a requirement for the student to make as a respectable citizen. Also, at present, India, the nation, our honorable PM is really driving the India towards self-reliance. So this is a striking thing that I have seen in this school as I entered. Second one, the principal has taken me around the school and he has taken to the girls' cottage. Really, it was when I entered this one, my memory goes back to my college days in Madras Institute of Technology in 1977. There's no comparison. I was thinking that the cottage will be like my shabby college, the room. When I see this cottage, really I was wondering how they are able to maintain and how beautiful this one. That they reflect this really, I am thinking of that shifting my house from Bangalore and come back and come and sit here. That's a feeling I have. Third one, when I am seeing that all my young friends sitting in front of me, really my memory goes back to my village when I was running and playing and doing the work in the field in the Saraklavali village. I am just seeing that all my colleagues, all my friends are played with me. I am seeing Asik there sitting in front of me. That's the feeling I am having this work. It is, in fact, it's a very, very heartening to note that the Laidlaw Memorial School and Junior College has been at the forefront of educating and turning out the self-reliant, again the self-reliant global citizens for providing services in a variety of fields such as business, education, sports, medicine, social science, defense, railway, government service, every area that is producing the children in a self-reliant manner. It's very, very heartening to note this particular aspect. And this excellence institution for the last 100 years really doing the immense service and performed very well to this team and produced excellent leaders of various categories that I have seen. I got a list of their seniors, how they really came up, that I got a list, and even that the present president Ashok also came from this college or school that I understood this one. So many people came from this one. So really we are with this school and really proud of that, and it shows, it indicates very clearly that the young friends sitting in front of me also one day is going to rule, going to run ahead the organizations in the country. Who knows, they may even head the country itself one day. That is what I expect. So the way that the teaching, the school is really giving to the people, the thanks to the wonderful efforts taken to the management. I feel extremely privileged to be part of this 100 years celebrations of this prestigious residential school. First, let me thank Mr. Ashokan and Dr. Sivasubramanian for giving me this unique opportunity, because usually when they asked me, I was trying to escape from here. When Ashokan, Mr. Ashokan, he knows that if he is calling that I won't agree, so he tried to put the ball on Sivasubramanian's court and then I tried to make it. But finally that I cancelled many other programs to come to this school and meet all of you to participate in this program. As I told, again repeatedly telling that this particular school has the unique team. See, usually that any school or college that they are doing, they always mention that producing that students for the servicing the society, so many blah blah, etc. things will happen. This is the only one place the theme is not for anything else, but it's self-reliant. This is a unique this one. And this theme is really producing the self-reliant leaders, which is very much essential for the national development. Not only for the individual to come up, it is useful for the national development as well. The self-reliant leaders always have a unique characteristics. They will think different and innovative ways. Unlike the normal people, the people who try the self-reliant method, definitely they will think in a unique way and a different way that will lead many development and nation especially. I just want to talk about one such innovation and which happened in India, which makes the India more self-reliant. As you, my dear friends, when you study in your curriculum about the space era in India. In fact, in 1960s, when this space technology got getting developed, the developed countries really wanted to make use of, or not wanted, they made use of this technology for distracting others, to show power of themselves over others. The aim was something different, distraction. When this was going on in the worldwide, one person in India, that is Dr. Sarabhat, was thinking differently, innovatively. How this destructive technology can be used constructively. That is, for any technology, any science, if you are seeing, then always it will be a positive thing, it will be a negative thing. This, whatever this Ashokan Sir is making this that rocket in the Sivagasi, it will be making people to enjoy. The same rocket in different way will, if it is going on hitting on the others, another rooftop of another thatched roof, it will destruct that house also. That way, any good thing will have a positive, negative thing, but the developed countries were using this technology for destructing others, but our person was thinking how to make use of this one in a positive way. He was thinking, India, as all of you are aware, It's a vast country. It is lengthwise about 4,000 kilometers, widthwise there is 4,000 kilometers, and only about 20% people are living in the urban area. More than 80% of the citizen is living in the rural and the remote place and unreachable place. When I am telling about the unreachable place, you can see, some of you, once you are growing up, you go and visit places like Northeast region. It's impossible to reach the place, many places. Like that, many such areas, 75 to 80% of people at that time were residing in the unreachable area. Now, at that time, 6 years back, whatever the best technology, the benefits of the best technology were really used by these urban people. Dr. Sarabhai thought, in order to make the India is a developed country, the 20% people alone should not get benefited by the space technology, the advanced technology. The advanced technology must reach all the 80% of the people also who are residing in the remote places and villages. Then only India can develop. And what the way out? He thought the same space technology which was used for destructive purposes, he thought that the same thing can be used as a tool to take the advanced technology to the rural area so that the whole India will be benefited. And really, how this space technology can be benefited. And that is the typical Earth observation. Earlier, you wanted to find the Earth resources or water resources to find diseases in agricultural thing. Only the aerial survey by aircraft only is done. Now, it is to cover some area, it used to take weeks of time, months of time. Dr. Sarabhai was thinking, by bringing a satellite at the top, around 500, 600 kilometers, we can observe in a big area so that the survey can be done in a very effective way. Also, there are so many calamities used to happen, cyclone and other. How we can make the satellite images can be utilized to predict and give at the earliest and disseminate. Now, if you take the communications, the communications between us is very simple, that the telephone is there, but people in the remote place, how they will get? The people in the remote place, how they will enjoy the TV? Or what are the technologies available is how it is informed to be there, the communication against space, the technology. This is a way he thought. Now, to do these things, it is that simple. It really requires a satellite that has to be put in the space. And this satellite is simply not just like sitting somewhere, go and sit somewhere, you cannot sit. It has to be carried from the ground and it has to be injected in the space at a particular speed. You just imagine that is the low Earth orbit, this 500 or 600 kilometer orbit, will be having a speed of something like 27 and 28,000 kilometers per hour speed. For the geostationary orbit, we need a speed of about 40,000 kilometers per hour. If you want to go to moon or sun, the Mars, we need around 50 to 60,000 kilometers per hour speed. So this type of journey to speed, we need a launch vehicle. This is the second one. And also that we need a ground system to acquire the data from the satellite and to disseminate. Only when all these three systems together only is available, the system can be really used for the national development purpose for the benefit. This was the purpose. Then, how to get this technology? If you are going buying this technology from the outside country, definitely it was very costly. It is unbearable. At the same time, that even if you are paying the money and getting the service from the foreign nation, we are really depending on their mercy. If they wanted to shop, they can shop anytime. You know why that now we are talking about the navigation satellite by India, Navi. Why this particular satellite is initiated by Government of India, this program, that you are aware of the reason? When Kargil war was going on, India requested America, USA, for giving the GPS services to us, and the USA refused to give the service. Once they refused to give the service, we wanted to have a service on our own. That's what we brought the Navy. So the technology means, in order to enjoy the technology, you have to be self-reliant. This is done by our country, our Prime Minister, and the school also doing the same thing. And because of this self-reliance, now we develop everything on our own. Now we have that 3 launch vehicles, PSLV, GSLV Mark III, and we have the technologies for fabricating and launching the spacecraft, advanced spacecraft, which is on par with any technology else in the world. That way we are on par with everybody. That is the technology we have. We have excellent ground systems to disseminate data. So India is, as this particular school have the self-reliant. India is fully self-reliant on the space technology for providing end-to-end services for every user. It is doing services in all the areas that I did not tell you. That your teachers without talking to you, you may be getting that I don't want to tell you. Only one thing I want to tell you. If you want that every second of every Indian is one way or other linked to space. Your life is linked to space. That you have to keep in mind. This is the thing happening. And to understand what really happening, what is the impact of the space-based applications for the services for the country. In fact, any time, suppose the satellite is off for some time, for one day, just imagine what will happen. Definitely you cannot see your TV. The children, I think I do not know how much you are fully involved. You cannot see the TV. You cannot operate the internet. Your computer cannot work. Your ATM cannot work. The entire system that your mobile will not work. Nothing, the whole world will come to standstill. In that technology, we have become self-reliant. Now, is it sufficient? Definitely, the human mind always will look for more. You give, suppose, you give a particular car, in particular money, definitely you will be looking for the better services at a lower cost. So we need to do more and more. And at present, India is in collaboration with the USA. He is developing one satellite called NASA, ISRO Synthetic Aperture Radar Satellite. This satellite, from 700 kilometers above the Earth, will be able to find out less than 1 centimeter movement on the Earth's surface. You can imagine. Less than 1 centimeter movement on the Earth's surface from 700 kilometer height. Because this is the highest advanced satellite right now. It is being fabricated by India and USA together. And this is the costliest satellite launched so far. That is $1.6 billion dollar. This satellite. India is working on that along with USA. And once it is launched, this satellite can identify exactly earthquake when it is going to happen. You can give in advance by earthquake. Before earthquake is happening, it will be seen through the earth movement. By measuring the movement of the earth surface, you can predict earthquake very accurately. And the glaciers are coming out. You can predict the glaciers coming out very easily, much in advance. And lot of the changes in atmosphere, it will find it in advance, so that it is going to give a revolutionary applications in the space technology for not only for India, for the entire globe. This data is going to be useful. And like that we have Chandrayaan 1, Chandrayaan 2, Mars orbiter mission, and a lot of science mission, and the Gaganyaan mission that we have, and we have so many missions we have on the line to make it happen. And you may ask, see, when I was talking about the communication, earth observation, you will be agreeing. But what really the Gaganyaan mission is going to do for humanity? What way is beneficial? When people are not able to travel one place to other place, your bus is not available, we want to travel to the space. That question you may ask. Or why you are wasting money to go to Mars? What you are going to find? It's a desert place. Why you wanted to go to that desert place? Why you want to travel all the way to Mars? There are in India itself so many desert places are available. You can go. People may ask. It is not so. See that we have to keep in mind. Our earth resources are coming down. And it is predicted that by 2050 we are going to face a wave. By 2050 that we are going to face a very big scarcity on water scarcity, food scarcity, power, all sorts of problems are going to come. Anyway, we have already enjoyed. Only you young people only going to suffer this one. You may not get the benefit what are you having now. So make this is to happen to youngsters, to make the whole system sustainable. It is essential to make advance in technology. We have to get resources from the space, and we may have to go to space. There are many such requirements. That's what is advanced missions are planned. And to do all these things, the requirement for the space is very high. And who is going to do? Really, we cannot do. By the time we become very, very old, this one, and we cannot do. And you are the people, young people, you are going to do. And our Dr. Kalam used to tell, you please dream it. Like that, you people should dream it and make and to get prepared yourself to face the challenges whatever India is going to have, so that to ensure that you are taking that India, you are the future leader. It's not only that one leader. I am expecting at least some few Einsteins and a few Sir C.V. Ramans have to come from this crowd. This red and green, the people who are having the red and green t-shirt Italians, they put it. This same people should become the Sir C.V. Raman or Einstein. So the day is not too far. Once you are become like that, I am sure that you can lead the country in many ways and to make this country globally number one. And I am sure that when you are making such things, that you please invite me to inaugurate your college or your factory or your industry. That you please keep in mind that the day is not too far. And I am sure that you will do it. And once again I thank the school management and also Mr. Ashokan and Subramaniam for giving me this unique opportunity, because it's a unique experience for me rather. Because I always interacted mostly with the college students and that level. And it's a very, very rare opportunity to interact with the school students. So I am really happy to interact with, happy to be part of this program and happy to interact with all of you. And thank you. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
I'm sure the children, after listening to this wonderful talk and the interaction with the chief guest, you may be having questions. Two children, do you have any questions? Do you have any questions? Old Georgians and children, if you have any questions, you can raise up your hands. We have the mic, which is going to move around. And our chief guest will be very happy to answer the questions. Before you ask the question, your name, your class, and then the question. Right? Thank you.
Sir. Check. Ambigo Klakash of class 10B. And I have a question. How accurate is Vyomitra's response compared to humans? How accurate is Vyomitra's response compared to humans?
Okay, how accurately the Vyomitra with respect to human? See, you know Vyomitra is a robot. It is going to fly in the first Gaganyaan mission. In fact, if you are saying that the history of the history of the human space flight, before sending human to the space, they used to send the living animals to space and see whether these animals are surviving and other things. Now, we don't want to kill one animal for this purpose. See, now the technology is improved, so we are interested in animals, we are sending a robot. This robot is really simulating a human function very clearly. It will be seeing that it will be getting trained. You know, these robots will do the function, how much it is trained. Mostly, it is right now the training given to the Vyomitra is something equal to a child like you. And can give more and more information can be trained, then it can become adult. Right now, at present, it is in the level of the children, something like a school-going children level, it is trained. What it can do is, this robot can go and see outside through the window and see and the globe and tell, this globe is like this. They can express and whatever way a child will tell about the globe from the space, you can tell. Like that, suppose that the indication is there, some fire alarm. This Vyomitra will tell, hey, this is a fire alarm. There is a carbon dioxide coming down. It will be able to tell. And the display, whatever display it is coming, will able to tell. That is, right now the Leometra will be able to function like a school going child inside the model. That's that way. This one. Okay.
So I'm in class 10. Will the Aditya one be more informative than the solar probe? How the solar probe? So will the Aditya one be more informative than the Parker solar probe? More informative.
Okay, I want to tell some few things before getting to that answer. See, the sun is the distance between sun and earth is about 150 million kilometers. Okay, and the sun diameter is about 1.4 million kilometer diameter. The sun diameter. And the sun's surface have the temperature of around 6,000 Kelvin. And the sun above the surface up to the radius of something 10 to 20 radius level, above that one, the sun's atmosphere is there. This atmosphere is called sun's corona. And if you are seeing the corona temperature is something like 2 million Kelvin. Sun's surface is inside, surface of the sun is about 6,000 Kelvin, whereas the corona is having 2 million Kelvin. And that one is explaining all this trouble for us. Now, the scientists, till now, till today, till 12:30 on 14th July 2022, till now, the scientists have not understood how the surface is actually 6,000 kilometers, what mechanism makes this corona make as a 2 million degrees Celsius. What mechanism it is related is still nobody knows. Now many countries are doing the research on that to understand. There is a solar flare, how it is happening. This behavior of the sun. We are talking about many things, but we are not able to understand sun till now. To understand that one, especially the sun's atmosphere and corona, there is many countries are doing it on. And the Parker solar probe is really that the USA has sent this one. This probe really is going through the corona, enter into the corona and study the behavior and give a feedback. That is the purpose. But so that is the solar. The Parker solar probe is a probe sent to sun, which is the closest to sun till now, till date. The object has gone closest to sun. But our Aditya L1 is nowhere near to that. Aditya L1 is the function is same, but the mission is different. What we are going towards into the sun corona, Aditya L1 is planned to be launched to a point called L1. That is, in the earth moon, it will stay there only forever. That is, when the earth is going around the sun, this satellite also is going will travel. When it is going like that, when you are putting this the probe there, not alone in that point, you can always look at the sun throughout his life, and it will generate the information about the corona, solar flares, and the solar atmosphere, and it will give feedback. Basically, both are having the same objectives, and the method of achieving objectives are different. One is entering into the atmosphere, another is watching outside. And from that one, see, we Indians are always like that only. We never take risk. We always watch from outside and criticize somebody and enjoy and become winning. That is our style. Okay. That is our classical Indian style of functioning. So we want to watch from outside, and the same way whatever we gain from that, we also get. See, many people are trying to move. Yes, definitely that is, when we are talking about that the services I told you, it is always we are looking for better services at the lower cost. At present, the cost of launching per kg is a very huge worldwide. To reduce the cost, the best way is we have to reuse because the way the cost is more, mainly because all the daily water we are using is one-time use. So instead of using one-time use, so you can whatever market we are launching the satellite, we are recovering back and then reuse it. That will be definitely cost effective. And for that, the various technologies are required. And there are two ways. One is that the lower stage to be recovered. Another one is the upper stages to be recovered. And we are already one round of this technology, the demonstration we have for that upper stage recovery, the linked reusable vehicle, that is the one. Now the second experiment is going to happen. So similarly, the first stage recovery technology demonstration also development is going on. And maybe some 5 to 10 years from now, definitely ISRO has to use the reusable launch vehicle. Then only they can be competitive with the world level. So we are planning to do it and we will do it. This one. That's all.
Good afternoon, sir. I'm Abhishek from India. My question is, with most of the world beginning space tourism, how far is India from this vision?
This definitely that India also we are not we have this Gaganyaan program. We are already that maybe that 1 or 2 years from now that we have the technology demonstration development is going on. Once the technology demonstration development is over, we have a demonstration mission. Once we have the technology, definitely fly. Maybe at that time we will become useless. We got to fly up for the space, but we will be having a chance to fly. The chance is there, we are working on that.
My name is Gulzar. I'm an old Georgian. I'd like to know if you have any programs where the school can participate. I understand there are some programs for the space organizations in different countries. How about the programs for
No, we have many programs. That is, every year we have programs at UVCOM. That's what the 10th standard, the 9th standard passed out students will be taken to ISRO and they will be give some training over. And similarly, that is for the students, that is many online the programs are there. or a specific area. So that is always there.
With the students community, as per the culture of Kalam. Because Kalam has met 4 crore students and I have met 4 lakhs and he has also met 4 lakh students. We have a program in 75th Independence Day. Prime Minister wants 75 satellites built by students. 75 satellites built by students. And for which ISRO is giving all technology, know-how, and to some extent funding factor also it gives. I thought our lawsuit school should come forward with a nano satellite, with a large sat. You can name it as a large sat. You can build by the students, which can have a sensor and a monitor, a CubeSat, 1 feet by 1 feet by 1 feet. The satellite, ISRO is ready to send through its SSLV or any. This program is on. Unfortunately, in whole India, we have 45 or 50 satellites only offered. And I think this is a good example of students and the space agency having an interaction. Having an interaction is a good proposal.
Become self-reliant. We will aim at raising our country even higher in the field of space and technology. We will all become Einsteins and C.V. Ramans for sure, sir. We also thank you for the most enlightening and patient interaction. This has indeed imparted a lot of wisdom to our students. I now request our chairman, Mr. Norman Wood, to present our chief guest with a memento.
Good morning, everybody. And on behalf of the old Georgians and on behalf of the present Georgians, the management, the staff, our principal and patron, from the old Georgians, we make a few requests to the Georgians present here today to make the reunion a memorable experience to all concerned. We need to follow certain rules while we are here on the campus. One is please register at the registration counter. We will have to go back and collect your kit bags, which is ready by now. Thanks to our Georgians, Malan, Ram Prakash, Sriram, and Mrs. Sriram, Mrs. Ram Prakash. Please go back and collect your kit bags, which will have all the lanyard cable with your reunion tags. Please wear your reunion tags at all times, especially at the Saturday night's musical evening and banquet at Vernon Palace. Please note that nobody will be allowed for the banquet and musical evening at Vernon Palace without the banquet coupon, which is found inside your kit bag, which is not transferable. Please avoid asking embarrassing requests. Good etiquette should be maintained at the social and musical evening. Your reunion tag should be worn at all times inside the campus, and your food coupon should be furnished at the dining hall positively. Timings at the dining hall, we have to help the school catering department finish one meal and then start for the next meal. So please adhere to the timings at the dining hall as listed on the coupons. The coupons will have the timings there. Smoking and drinking on the school campus is prohibited. You must keep our campus clean. Garbage should not be left strewn around. Old Georgian parents, that meaning that if there are some old Georgians who also happen to be parents, please observe the rules of the school. Old Georgian parents of the present students should not have meals with their children. Chauffeurs and drivers of old Georgians will not be provided meals at the school. They will be provided packets of food at Hesketh pitch at cost. Finally, please note that our campus is the home to a bison, to wild boar and other wildlife of the Western Ghats. Georgians are requested to be aware and take precautions, adequate precautions whilst on campus. Thank you. Have a nice day.
I now humbly call upon the Secretary of the Old Georgian Association, Mr. Anand K. Armugam, to propose the vote of thanks.
I deem it the toughest task to thank, because I need to thank everyone who had prepared for us. 100 years in Ketti. Now time has flown to future generations. In our past, that our present has been made. 100 years gone by, but it is just the beginning of the legacy. 100 years of Georgians carries a legacy of self-reliance of an aspiring India. In 100 years since the school moved into this beautiful valley, I, taking my duty, to thank one and all. Good morning and my warm greetings. On this significant historic event, it is my privilege, honor and duty to thank everyone who had made this event wonderful, grand and memorable. Also on behalf of the Old Georgian Association. I consider it my very important task and duty to let you know, to let all of you know why we should thank Dr. Shivan. Not only has he taken time from his busy schedule in his duty of building a better humanity and pushing frontiers of science beyond Mother Earth. His commitment for India to be learned is commendable. To me personally, I think he is the only human who has almost touched the other side of the moon. Thank you, sir, for having me. Dr. Subramanian, former ISRO, leading scientist. It was amazing to know that we are getting closer to the sun, but in our own way, watching others grab for data, and we will get it first. I am sure of it, sir, because you have inspired the young children to take up, to build the satellite, and lost sat must be possible. Thank you, sir. Thank you for gracing us with this occasion, and it has been wonderful taking all the precautions given to school the grace to conduct this event. Graceful. Thank you. At this moment, I will have to thank the founders of the school, Sir Robert J. and Reverend Green. Thanks, Ben, for having come online to show us the bloodline of Sir Robert J. It is indeed my duty to thank the chairman of the board, Mr. Norman Wood, and the board members. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. The principal, Mr. Gary Everett, and the patron of the OJA, thank you for providing us with sleepless nights to make this event wonderful. Wonderful. And tirelessly they have been working for the past 30 days. And the school had started, they had to take all the precautions to keep the children safe. Thank you for that, sir. Please. The Centenary Celebrations Committee Chairman, Mr. INAUGURATION, the force from all over, Mr. Tamilarasu, Thomas Abraham, Fani, Thomacha, the past office bearers of all the OG, there was indeed a registration of 532 old judges and told to come here and be with the alma. A special mention of Marwan and family, Sriram and family, Namprakash and family, who have contributed significantly to sort out the kickback, is a monumental task. Thank you. The staff from surgery also needs to be thanked. To the food department, beverage department, administration, coordination, and everything all over. Thanks, Mrs. Lina, Mrs. Hema, who have devoted their time, the tribal school children who came forward to showcase their heritage of India from this part of this world. I thank the OGA fraternity and brotherhood for having made us feel the bondage of humanity in this machine-dominated world. The special dance performed by our own school children needs a mention here. I actually must mention one's name because I have seen the pleasure that I have taken to sacrifice. I must mention everyone's name that they have taken time in deriving pleasure out of the sacrifice that they have made for the school. Not last but the least, the present Georgians, the future Indians, to lead humanity by its virtues for having taken this opportunity to enhance your wisdom by your interactions. If I have missed to mention anyone, please pardon me of my ignorance and my failing memories. Nonetheless, you will always be in my prayers for having made this possible, grand and successful. Thank you.